It is not required, but try to like or dislike the video. The main character Seong is introduced as the drama story begins. His son's birthday had arrived. Seong's mother gives him money, in exchange for taking his son out to dinner. Seong requires additional funds. He steals his mother's ATM card. Then he steals all the money from his mother. It wagers the money on horse riding, and wins 4 million won. Seong borrowed money from a business. That's why those people are drawn to him. They kidnap Seong and severely beat him. When Seong checks his pocket to return their money, he discovers he has none. It means, the money he has won from horse riding. Then he remembers colliding with a girl, as he ran away from them. That girl has undoubtedly ripped his pocket. Because Seong does not have any money, they have given him a 1-month sentence. This time, he has to return their money. Then Seong arranges money, and takes his son to dinner. After it, Seong reaches the station hurriedly. Unluckily, his train was missed. A man came to Seong, while he was waiting for the train. He was an unknown person, and Seong doesn't know anything about him. The unknown person says to Seong, "I want to play a game with you." He says to Seong, "If you win this game I will give you 1 lakh won." Hearing about a large sum of money, Seong agrees to participate in this game. After being beaten a lot, Seong wins the game. It means he gets 1 lakh won. The unknown person gives Seong a card, while saying, "If you want to earn more money contact the number." Returning home, Seong's mother says to Seong, "Your daughter is shifting with her stepfather to the US next year." It is revealed here that Seong divorced and his wife married. Seong never wants his daughter to move far from him. He wants a lot of money to get custody of his daughter, so he calls at the card number. Seong was brought in a car, and there were other people. They all faint, and when they awake, they find themselves in a facility with 456 other people. They were there as players, because they were wearing a uniform. The host of this facility was a man. He was the frontman there. He was keeping an eye on them. There was one common thing: the people who were brought in had taken many debts. Seong meets player number 1. He was an old man. He has a brain tumor. That's the reason he was brought here. His life was also about to end. There is a fight between 2 players, in which the girl was named Sibayak, and the boy was named Jang. Sibayak was the girl who had stolen Seong's money. She has ripped his pocket. Seong recognizes her after seeing her. He goes to her, to ask her about his money. Meanwhile, some guards arrive while wearing the pink uniform. Their faces were covered. The guards tell those players, "You all have to play a total of 6 games here. The winner of this game will have a lot of money." Their signs were taken on a contract. The first rule of this contract is that, no player can skip this game on his, or, her own. The second rule is that, any player who refuses to play will be eliminated. What does the word eliminate mean to them? We'll find out later. The third rule was, if the majority of players are unwilling to play the game, they may leave. After that, they were taken for playing the game. Seong meets his classmate Sang-woo, who has known him since childhood. Seong gets shocked seeing him, because he has gone out of the country for business. There was a massive doll for the first game. This game's rules were so simple. It was, whenever doll will sing, they have to move forward, as it will stop singing they have to stop. Don't have to move. If someone will move, he will be eliminated. Everything appeared to be a joke at first. But when a boy moved, he was finished after being shot. It was the meaning of eliminating. It means, they will be finished. Seeing it, they all get panicked. They discover they are in danger. They are terrified and panicked, so they wonder. Now because of the game's rules, the one who is moving will be finished. The survivors somehow complete the game. The dead bodies were removed, leaving only 255 players out of a total of 456. All the players were scared. Now nobody wants to play the game. As rule number 3, if the majority wants they can skip the game. The frontman does the voting process, before they are shown the prize money. The money, the winner will get. But, if they leave the game, this money will be given to the dead player's family. The prize money was a total of 45 million. The voting was done, in which the majority didn't want to play the game. That's why the game stopped there. They can rejoin the game in the future if they want. They all were taken to their houses. The next day, Seong tells the police everything while going to the police station. But they didn't believe in Seong. They think he is insane. Seong shows them the card, but surprisingly, the number on it was wrong. Seong returned home, but his mother wasn't there. Seong's classmate Sang-woo was seeing his mother secretly. Meanwhile, Seong arrives. Sang-woo tells Seong, upset that I am under 6 billion debt. He says, I have put clients' money in the stock margin. Regrettably, all of the money was squandered. Seong receives a call from the hospital. The foot of Seong's mother was injured. Her wound grew larger, as a result of her failure to treat her diabetes. The doctor tells Seong, your mother can be treated. For this, we have to remove her foot. This operation demands a lot of money. It is obvious Seong has no money, even though he has finished the insurance money of his mother. Seong goes to his wife to ask for money. His wife refuses to give him money. His wife tells her husband, Seong has come asking for the money. Her husband comes to give Seong money, and says, stay away from my family. Seong starts beating him, then his daughter also arrives. After it, Seong's friend goes to his boss, to ask for the money. His boss refuses to give money, so the fight starts between them. During the fight, his boss's hand becomes injured in a machine, and getting a chance, Seong's friend escapes while taking money. Returning home, Seong's friend tells his wife to take the first flight and leave. Sae-byeok meets an agent, because she has to shift her mother from the north to the south area. Sae-byeok is the girl who has stolen Seong's money. Sae-byeok needs money to bring her mother here. Sae-byeok has an elder brother, whom she promised she will bring to her mother. Later, an officer is shown his brother missing. The officer goes to his brother's house. He discovers his brother hasn't come to his home for the last few days. While checking the house, the officer finds a card there. The officer has seen the same card with Seong in the police station. The officer approaches Seong and inquires about it, but Seong refuses to answer. When Seong returns home, he again finds that card. Seong decides that he will again join the game. That's why all the players were taken near a ship. The officer also arrives while chasing the cars. He finishes the guard and throws him in the water. The players were taken to a facility on an island. They have no idea about the next game, and how will it be played. They make their teams. Sae-byeok and her female friend go to the washroom at night, escaping from guards. Sae-byeok explores the facility. She notices the guards are cooking something in huge pots. Guards suspect, and a guard comes to check the washrooms. Until then, Sae-byeok has returned. Sae-byeok tells her female friend everything she sees. But Sang-woo hears them. He asks Sae-byeok about it. She tells him they were cooking something in huge pots. Then all the players were taken to the playground. There were 4 shapes in front of them, and they had to choose a shape. Sang-woo comes to know about the game and what they have to do. Sang-woo tells Seong they all have to choose different shapes. After it, they were given a small pot. Shapes were made in it. Their game is to take out the shape somehow, without any damage, but if the shape will be reshaped, they will be eliminated. It means they will be finished. Sang-woo easily takes out the shape. Seong's condition gets worse after being panicked. But then he somehow wins this game. They were taken back to the rooms. 187 players were returned, and now 108 were left from them. After that, they were taken to have food. Because of food, Jang fights with a boy. Jang beats the boy. He finishes the boy at the spot. There is a doctor shown among the players, who sells the organs of the dead people to the Chinese with the help of the guards. That's why, whenever dead bodies are taken, they disappear. This all was happening according to a plan. This was happening secretly from the frontman. This is the reason they make their own man sit in the control room. He used to delete all the video footage of them. The guards already aware the doctor about the game, so that he will survive. A guard informs the doctor that we have given the players less food today. so they will fight together. Because of this, all the weak players will be out of the game. With it, the guard tells the doctor about their next game. Now the lights were about to turn off after 30 minutes. Sang-woo knows that Sung's team will do something stupid. He calls the team and asks them to stay relaxed. The doctor player adds up in Jang's team. Here, the doctor tells Jang about the next game. After it, the lights turn off, and Jang beats everyone with his team. After finishing a girl, Jang goes to finish Si Bai Eok. But Sung saves her. The guards arrived, and forbade them. There were now only 80 people left. Later, they were taken for the third game. They were asked to make a team consisting of 10 players. They do the same and make their team. Jang is aware of the upcoming game. He didn't include Si female Bai Eok's friend in his team. He makes his team only consisting of males. Sang-woo also makes his team, because they need a player, so Si female Bai Eok's friend adds them in. This game was actually tug of war. It means they have to defeat the team in front of them. The game starts. Jang's team easily wins this game. Now it was the run of Sang-woo's team. Player number 1, the old man says, "I have played many tug of wars in my life." That's why he guides them on how to win this game. They have won the game somehow. The lights are then shown to be turned off after 30 minutes. On it, Sang-woo asks them to be ready. They decide they will guard one by one. Jang's team was having wise players, so Jang was afraid that his team would cut him off. Now the doctor and guards have taken out the organs of dead bodies. Guard number 28 and 29 will go to deliver these organs. They talk about the dead body having one kidney and call him a zombie. Guard number 29 was none other than the officer who had to deliver the organs. He arrives dressed as a guard, and suspects they are discussing my brother, because he also has one kidney. Then numbers 28 and 29 move to deliver the organs. On the way, the officer notices the bomb in the tunnel. The number 28 tells him, "When we will go out, this place will be blasted." The officer tries to take more information from number 28. Number 28 suspects him. He asks the officer to show his face. While showing his face, the officer points the gun at the number 29. The officer asks him about the man with one kidney. "Who is the person who you call a zombie?" Number 28 says, "She was a girl," and says, he can take all of the information, while going to the leader's room. There is data for everyone. The officer finishes the number 28 after knowing this. On another hand, the doctor asks the guard about the next game. But this time, the guards also don't know about the next game. The doctor becomes furious. He fights, while holding the guard, and the doctor escapes after finishing the guard. A guard also chases him, and reaches a playground. The guard was about to end the doctor while trapping him. The leader arrives and ends him later. He also ends the doctor. On the way, he also finds the dead body of number 28. He knows there is someone in the facility. The officer reaches the leader's room. While checking, he arrives at a room where everyone's record. The officer checks and finds the record of the winners. There was his brother's name. It means he was the winner. The players were taken for the fourth game. They were asked to choose their partner. The players do the same, and choose their partners. Si Baeyok's female friend also tries to search for her partner. None was ready to be her partner. Following that, each player was given 10 marbles. The game, the player has to take all marbles from his partner, without forcing him. The other person having no marbles will end. Sang-woo and Sung's friend play the even and odd game. They have to guess the number of marbles in the front person's hand. Sung's friend wins all the marbles of Sang-woo. As a result, Sang-woo has only one marble left in the final round. Sang-woo knows now his life will be ended. He traps Sung's friend and makes him believe that, if anyone will lose to us, their match will be held again. Sang-woo, while cheating, changes the marbles of Sung's friend. Taking the marbles, Sang-woo gives them to the guard. He leaves from there. Sung's friend checks the marbles, but there were stones. The condition of player number 1 was worse. That's why he was running here and there. Sung makes him ready to play, and they also play the even and odd game. The old man wins all the marbles of Seong. But in the last round, the old man forgets what he has chosen. Seong takes his marbles while trapping him. But the old man was astute, he kept a marble. He again wanders, Seong again requests him to play another game with him. The old man says, "I know you have taken all the marbles from me while cheating." He says, "I knew everything but I was acting like a fool." Hearing it, Seong took pity on him and gave him all the marbles. Taebaek and her female friend were also playing games. Their game is, the one who will throw marbles near the wall will win. At first, Taebaek throws her marbles. When it was Taebaek's friend's turn, she threw all her marbles. Seeing it, Taebaek asks her friend to throw it again. Her friend says, "No, Taebaek. I am alone, there is none behind me. But if something bad happens to you, it won't be good. There is your elder brother waiting for you." Taebaek's friend is finished. Their dead bodies were taken from there. They return to the rooms. Jang notices Taebaek's friend is still alive. She was sitting calmly. Here it is shown Taebaek's friend was also Jang's friend. There was a reason why they clashed. Jang's friend bullies him. Later, the frontman finds the ID card of the officer near a dead body. Then the frontman comes to know his VIPs have arrived. The frontman moves to receive them. All VIPs were taken to the rooms, and the frontman later tells about the VIP's arrival to another man. He was the main man, we will know later about him. The next day, they all were brought for the 5th game. There were the digits from 1 to 16, the players will take their numbers, which means there will be their turn according to their number. In the last, the first and the last number left. It means 1 and 16, Seong gets confused about which number he has to choose. If he chooses the first option, he will be stuck, because he is unfamiliar with the game. If he chooses the last number, it is possible that he will not have his turn. Due to the shortage of time, meanwhile, a man arrives and says to Seong, "I want first number. Because I've never been on the first number in my life." They were taken to a gaming room. The rule of the game is, they have to cross the bridge in the given time. There were 2 glasses in between the bridge. One was ordinary glass, but another was tempered glass. The ordinary glass will break, when they step on it, they will fall down. The game then begins, and they are eliminated one by one. Jang was in front of all and wasn't moving forward. They have only one way, to move forward or to die here. Jang's friend comes in front, who was bullying him. She says, "I told you, when you deceived me, that I will finish you." She holds Jang and jumps due to it, they both were finished. There was a man, who worked in a glass company. He knew, which one was tempered glass. Frontman turns off the lights, when he knows about it. So, they will not recognize the glass. They don't have time for the last step, so, Sang-woo pushes the man. Sang-woo, Seong, and Taebaek have crossed the bridge. But, due to the broken glass, they were injured. Taebaek was hurt as well. On the other hand, the officer has taken a servant's place after finishing him. A VIP suspects the officer. He asks him to remove the mask. "Okay," says the officer, "but I'll remove my mask before going inside." Then the officer moves inside with the VIP. Moving inside, the officer makes the VIP faint and the frontman knows it. The frontman chases him and sees the officer. The officer escapes and reaches an island. The frontman also arrives, while chasing him. The officer tries to call his seniors. But the call disconnects. The officer sent him all the proof, but there was no network. The frontman captures the officer, and asks him to go with him. But the officer fires a bullet at the frontman. When the frontman takes off his mask, the officer realizes it's none other than his brother. Officer's brother means the frontman shoots him. He falls into the water. Taebaek was injured due to the glass. She was bleeding. Then the survivors were taken to dinner. A knife was also placed near them, it means that at night, anyone among them will kill someone. Seong notices that Taebaek's condition is worse. He says to Taebaek, "Don't worry, we are together and will defeat Sang-woo, then we will leave and will divide the money." Taebaek tells him, I have an elder brother. I have left him in an orphanage. If one of us goes out, he or she must care for both families. Si-byuk's condition was worse, and she needed a doctor. Seong goes to ask for help, but when he returns, Sang-woo has finished Si-byuk. The next day, they were taken for the last game. The rule of the game was simple: die to be dead. This game was named Squid Game. The game starts, and there is a huge fight between them. In the end, Sang-woo's condition gets worse. Seong says, "I want to stop this game." Seong asks Sang-woo to come with him. Sang-woo finishes himself, and due to it, Seong wins the game. The frontman says to Seong, "You have played well, but I wasn't expecting this." Then Seong was dropped at his house. He has an ATM card. When he checks it, he sees all of his money has been transferred. Seong moves into his house, but his mother dies before he arrives. The scene is then shown a year later. Seong's condition was worse, and used to take drugs. He hasn't used the money yet. A lady who was selling flowers comes to Seong and gives him the same card. An address was mentioned on it. Seong moves to the address. There he discovers, it all has been done by the old man, player number 1. He's still alive, and the old man tells Seong that he's tired of his life. "I have made these games with my clients, so I will enjoy watching people dying. But we didn't force anyone to do this. I took part in the game, because playing is more enjoyable than watching." He says the money you have is mine. Saying this, the old man dies. After it, Seong goes to the elder brother of Si-byuk. He drops him at Sang-woo's mother, and asks her to take care of this kid. He also gives her a bag full of money. Seong moves to the station, and the same unknown person, whom he met at the start of the movie, meets him. Seong pursues him, but he manages to flee. Then Seong calls at the card number. He asks, "Who are you and why you are doing this to people? Why are you tampering with other people's lives?" But the response was, "Seong, get on the plane if you want to live."